and there's a young woman next to the ice, and then you go a bit lower, and then there's a tent there. So it's
okay, you two talk. I'm going to go there now.
Okay.
While we're on the subject of the people in the tent, I somehow, I was like, all right, we're going to start cleaning stuff up. We're going to start finishing quests. I somehow managed to acquire more. I'm on a quest to make music more hardcore or harder core. I have to go around and find some tapes for Egghead to remix. And I found one in a tree.
Whoa. I've never done that before.
So you know where the guy selling sunglasses is? Like opposite the pawn shop. Behind him there's a tree you can pat and talk to.
I didn't know this.
So I only found it by accident, but because apparently there's just tapes lying everywhere.
This is new information to me.
I kind of came up against a rut with the church quest, which I'm not going to talk about because James is not quite there yet. Looking for a tent. But basically I solved most of the quests, but I'm kind of at that stage where I'm like, clearly there is something that I'm missing, or there's something I don't have enough high enough skills for that I'm not getting anything here. Like I kind of know it's that frustrating thing in a game where you know what the solution is, but you don't know how to bring it about. I'm looking at like the people in the tent and I'm looking at the people in the church. I'm just like, there is a way to solve these two problems, but I don't know how to get the game to do that. And I think that's what's frustrating me.
Have you found slight spoilers? Have you found Suna?
Yeah, you see that's what I mean. Like, so I found Suna. I've kind of done everything that Suna has asked me to do, and I'm at the stage where Suna has a problem, and I know that the solution is with the people in the tent. Like there's a very obvious logical solution to solve the problem, but I don't know how to get the game to bring those two things together. I'm assuming it's just I failed a check somewhere, or I don't have enough skill in something, so an option isn't appearing. So I need to like, I'm kind of happy to take it as this is probably something I'm not going to get this time round.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm aware I'm kind of killing time before the communist meeting at 10 o'clock. Which I only remembered when James brought up La Responsibility there. So I'm like, I do actually have so I'm glad we're having one more session after this, because that'll hopefully take me to 10 o'clock.
Have you found it?
To the west of the church. I've been looking north of the church.
It's east. Well, it's east of the church.
It's east of the church. How interesting. Okay, so I really wish I discovered this when I first looked at this church 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Well, now you know for next time.
I don't understand how I felt like I was clicking everywhere. I just missed it somehow. Okay. I'm like, so because for whatever reason my playthrough this time, my computer froze, my game froze, and I lost about 25 minutes of game time, and I didn't actually spend that game time doing anything productively. I went to talk to Krasha, who said, and I came back again.
Cool.
Huzzah. Okay, so there's a whole church quest that I have to do before pursuing Ruby, is I guess the way I'm going to phrase it. Is that right, Ollie?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think it's a bit odd that you can this will definitely happen in a game design at some point, that at some point they'll be like, hey, don't go down here yet, but I don't know what else to do. There'll be stuff to do. We can't tell you where it is.
Well, it's like get ready to go down here.
Yeah, I mean,
rather than don't go down
very
here.
Specifically, I guess mild spoilers, but actually very relevant for Amber. Amber, if you want to complete, so I have a warning not to go down a specific direction if I have not completed specifically the Union quests or the cryptozoology quests.
Oh my goodness! Okay.
So you might want to complete the cryptozoology side stuff now.
I think I have finished it for now. Like I've concluded the kind of like I got to the stage where Lena was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go now.
Oh, you got to that point, yeah. Oh, so this at the beginning of this episode, you were like, either cryptos exist in this game or they don't. I'm like, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. As much as I said I don't think this game's gonna do that, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And I feel like it sort of did, which makes me, and I don't know if this is maybe I'm too drunk on the sauce now, but I'm very much just like, nah, that can't be the end of it. That has to be something else. Because the thing is, right, you've been on this quest, and then Morel just sort of disappears, and then Lena's just like, all right, bye then. Okay, like that was a lot of work for nothing, right? And I know that this game has a habit of doing that sometimes, but I'm like, to get to this stage, you have to be quite close to the end game, and Like there was a moment that I'm like, this is a big emotional kind of climax here. And also like the conversations I've had with Kim, the conversations I've had with Lena and Morel, like it does feel like it's leading towards something, and then it's just all of a sudden it's just stopped. So I'm kind of like, I think there's maybe something that'll happen later on in the game, or there's like a hidden thing somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm kind of, as far as the quest is concerned, done the quest, but I'm left feeling a bit either wanting or very much in that kind of denial stage of no, this can't be it, which I think is more the biggest kind of evidence that the cryptozoologist has got inside my head, and now I don't believe my own eyes.
So I think there is an element of bathos to it. I completed that side quest a few episodes ago. So for me, it's less of we're coming towards the end of something, and it was one of the middle things I did after discovering this side of the coast, this side of the map. And so for me, it was kind of, this ending was a reflection of what Kim said at the very beginning of, we don't have time for this. And it comes to the end, it's like, yeah, I guess we did. Well, I did not see that coming. I did not see, I made it all up coming. I thought that was very cool. I thought that was, well, not cool, but like just, I don't know. There was something quite beautiful about the relationship, but also tragic.
Yeah, I do love their relationship, and I kind of passed the check to sort of convince them that, like, to convince Lena that, like, their marriage is more than just this creature that may or may not exist, you know? Like, there was a wonderful thing I wrote down. Normally when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad. When I think about you and Morel, I feel okay. That counts for something, no? And I'm like, that's really nice. That's a nice little bit of...
That's a nice
little bit of writing.
That's really sweet.
So I take you, so we've all presented our case to Titus Hardy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Did you ask about the specific kind of radio waves that Ruby was talking about?
I did. Yes.
It begins with a U. I can't remember what it is, but like I think this is probably a thing we can mention to James, right? If
I don't remember. Yeah. So I've presented it. I don't remember talking about radio waves.
I think it was like a thing after like I'd kind of done the thing, but from the sounds of things, Ruby is building a pale emitter.
Jesus.
Yes, she's building a pale emitter.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about at that point.
You'll find out.
I don't understand how I could have presented the case to Titus of like, here's the bullet, look, there's an elevator, ignore the fact that there's a winch outside.
Yeah.
But like that's the scene. That's the presenting of the case you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Basically, it was just like an extra text option that I just clicked on. So I don't think it was like you needed it to get through. You know, where it was kind of like you had the bit at the bottom where it was like conclude. You know, like, and they had some other options as well just to get some extra kind of information. Like I clicked on that one.
That's crazy. It's crazy that because I'm very much a click through everything kind of person. It must feel very like silly or stupid for me to click on something, to not click on something, like punch him in the face or something. But, which again I did by accident and then developed a relationship with Kuna. It's interesting how you can play through this game and completely miss different elements of the game in the same way that Ollie was trying for a while to avoid exploring, investigating the body. I'm avoiding the Union quests, and I seem to have missed this pale emitter thing. I think it's fascinating that I suppose how I imagine a real detective case is. You don't get all of the information; you get parts of the information based on the questions.
Yeah.
So just to talk about the pale for a quick moment in terms of how we can line it up with real life, it starts with this sort of kind of discussion of climate change. You know, it's the sort of death knell in just everything. What's wrong with the world? Well, these guys are in power and not to mention climate change. And this idea of not to mention climate change is kind of what it's like with the Pale as well.
Yeah.
Which is that the Pale is just slowly eating up the world. And it's like just people, it is an existential horror that just nobody talks about. Just nobody mentions it. And I just love the idea that, Ruby is there. While everyone else is not mentioning it, Ruby is there creating a climate gun.
Yeah. I think that framing has kind of made it a bit has kind of made it a bit clearer for me, I think. So I internalized Motorway South. I finished internalizing it.
Yes,
I thought that was interesting when Joyce was talking about it, when it was kind of like, it's this thing that is slowly consuming everything and there's not really anything we can do about it. I think we mentioned this when we first talked about the Pale. I think, Ollie, you compared it to, waking up without any memory and having somebody explain to you how mutually assured destruction works.
yeah, absolutely. And Kim is pissed off with Joyce for explaining it to you because it's like, oh well, I had him focused on the case,
Yeah.
and now that motherfucker is going to spend the entirety of his life, like we all do, thinking about the Pale.
Yeah, but like I think it's really interesting that this is a game that does deal with everything kind of holistically. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, there's like ecological things happening as well. Because I sort of thought it was like a sort of meta thing, being like, the only world that exists is the game within the world, or is the world within the game rather. It was like this kind of meta thing of like everything outside the world doesn't exist, or it's not real, or it's this kind of nightmare that you can't comprehend kind of thing. But describing it as climate change, I think it makes it a lot clearer, I think. But yeah, the fact that Ruby's potentially making a pale emitter, because that's basically a nuke, right? That is, to all intents and purposes, a nuclear bomb.
Other than the actual nuclear bombs that exist in
Yes.
Disco. Yes.
The equivalent of, yeah.
Can't wait to tell you about those in episode 17 where we wrap up.
I mean, so there's. Do you remember the film Moonraker, the Bond film?
Yes.
I'm curious to see where this goes, but yeah.
Well, no,
Finally, yes.
The plot of Moonraker. Were you to say that there were a plot of Moonraker? In the plot of Moonraker, the threat is, like this person is gathered together, the perfect couples from each race.
10 out of 10 himbos,
just to get awful from each race, and will then destroy the world with some sort of, I think it was some sort of environmental or chemical thing that's going to make it impossible to live in the world. And that's kind of, perhaps more than nuclear weapon, it's more of like, we call that chemical warfare. I didn't have to bring Moonraker into it. I could just mention chemical warfare.
I got to the end of it, I was like, oh, I thought there was going to be a point at the end of this.
That's like Moonraker. No, insofar as she's created a weapon similar to the one in Moonraker. That's the whole point.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair. I'm with you now. I'm
getting the sense you're a bit done with this kind of like process of play game that I have finished, record very thought.
No. I'm enjoying this bit, which is to chat to you guys about the game. I am spinning my wheels a bit in the actual game though.
Okay, well, we're sort of in the not in the end game, but
we're in Mop Up, aren't we? We're in that sort of. I'm waiting for 10 o'clock so I can go get my gun back.
I'm waiting for 10 o'clock so I can go to a meeting and probably be insulted, because that's just generally how communist meetings work.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for tomorrow to ask about the armor, because I've got to chase down like details about the armor, and I keep saying wait till tomorrow.
Okay.
Has anyone else done that?
No, I think I'm done with the armor in terms of the armor quest, because I found both bits. I found 2 bits, and then I got rid of the body before I could take the legs off it.
I found both bits, but I think there was something about chase down the registration number of the armor or something. Call into the police station about that.
I think I got that. I think I asked about it and it was fine, because I think that was one of the first few things I did after I got the body down, was that I ran the registration number.
Right. I've still got it as a task, and I keep saying check in. No, I don't have any information yet. Check in tomorrow. Okay. Maybe I've made it so that the game cannot give me the information anymore. Not sure.
There's been a few times where I've kind of realized that, I can't complete that quest anymore. That's a shame. But that's happened a couple of times, and I feel like I'm at that stage now where I'm like, I can't do everything. Like I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
I need to actually do things, which is like, it's a feeling I know very well, but it's at the same time it's also like, it's quite sad that I'm kind of like, I there's still so much in this world, and at some point I'm going to have to make a decision to leave some of it behind to actually do the game, which I think just makes it more, gives me even more of an honest to like play it again after I've finished, which I do want to do.
I very much want to go with like there's the temptation of just of playing this 24 times with maximizing all of your points in one skill, right? Maybe not quite like that, but like just being a very physical or a very mental or a very sense based character and seeing what different experiences you have. Same plot, but with different things bubbling up. Like I'm looking at my task list, and I've got 5 incomplete physical instrument tasks. And I don't think any of them are very significant to the game, like the lifting up the barbell or opening the ice cream maker. But maybe they are. It's hard to tell.
It's doing a good job of tying everything up and kind of tying everything together, I think. And also, I really liked how after you present your case to Titus, and then you go outside, the game just goes, "Are you sure about that?" And then it kind of goes, "Have you considered maybe this?" Or it's just like, what you said in there doesn't line up with what you've actually been doing, which I thought was really interesting. It's never a case of this is the right answer. It's like, no, is it though? But it still lets you progress, even though you don't necessarily have the right answer, which I appreciate.
I think what's been interesting as well is playing with 3 of us all kind of banging our head against the same puzzle is that, we found 3 different solutions to the same puzzle.
Yeah, that's true.
The case is sort of slowly unraveling in no short parts of what we are doing by, banging our head against the case. But because we are coming at it from, the physical bent, the sort of emotional bent and the psychological bent, the intelligent bent, we're getting 3 different answers to the same question, or three different questions to the same answer, I guess.
I suppose it's more 3 different lenses through which to perceive the answer.
We are in a opticians with, now is it 1 or 2? I love getting my eyes tested. Well, that was interesting. I read some books. Amber went in the church and
ran around.
James
so
did
much.
what James did.
I teleported to a roof.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't even get this story. Yeah. How do you teleport?
How do you teleport to a roof? Three detectives in a trench coat. Three detectives in a trench coat.
Thank you for listening to 3 Detectives in a Trench Coat. The 3 detectives are James Curtis, Oliver Morris, and Amber Devereaux. The podcast is edited by Oliver Morris and Amber Devereaux with original music by Oliver Morris. To find out more about the detectives and some of their previous casework, check the show notes.
Thank you for listening. Love you. Bye.